Hello and welcome back to another fabulous video here on my channel. I am Jacob from Jacob's Books Corner. Well, we're kind of in a corner, I'm on the ground today. I decided to move away my seat just for the simple fact that I don't know, I felt like sitting on the ground. Just seems to be how I like recording you guys. So today I've been trying to think of what video I'm supposed to, what video I'm supposed to film. And I was going to do a comic book haul, and then I felt like that would be ridiculous because I have only one thing for comic books. And then I realized how much stuff I actually do have for this particular one thing. And so I figured I would do a Buffy the Vampire Slayer haul. So basically it's just showing off all my Buffy stuff I've collected over the years, going into detail to comic books, to TV show merch, to whatever it might be. And I forgot one of them. Ugh. Well, I'll have to get anyways to show you guys the poster I have, so like it's okay. And some of the stuff you've already seen before in previous vlogs or in moments or whatever. I've worn a t-shirt before. I've talked about some of the stuff. Some of the stuff I've not talked about in years on my channel. So let's just get right into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is the original movie. The movie came out in the 80s and it's called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It was written by Joss Whedon and directed by somebody I don't know. Wow, that's kind of sad. I should know this. It was presented by Fox, and Fox ended up picking up the picture for the TV show, but ended up selling it to CW at one point or the other, which is Warner Brothers, which is just interesting if you ask me, if you're into that stuff. But this follows Buffy as she is in Los Angeles, and she ends up doing things to get her kicked out of school. And that's this. I don't really recommend this. This has Kristen Swanson, Donald Sutherland, Paul Rubens, Ruber Hecker, and Luke Perry. I think the biggest names here are Kristen Swanson, Donald Sutherland, and Luke Perry. Christy Swanson plays the main character of Buffy, and Luke Perry plays the love interest, and Don Sutherland plays the Watcher that is like trying to get her prepared. It's very cheesy, very 80s. It's not as good, but I do think if you love the TV show and stuff, there's a lot of callbacks to it, so, I recommend to watch. It's only like an hour and a half long, I want to say. No, not even. It's an hour and 25 minutes. It's not like you're wasting your time or anything. And then we have the behemoth that is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is the box set. There's 3 different versions of this box set that you can buy. This is the box set I got a hold of, as the other 2 are quite scarce. They're collector's items. They came out right after the TV show came out. There's a really cool one with a box I've always wanted, and I've always been trying to get my hands on, and I'm still trying to get my hands on over the years, to years to come. This is what the back of the box looks like. It's Buffy in the group, and this follows Buffy from the ages of when she is a sophomore in high school. This is, like, I guess, wait, she's a sophomore here. This has to be freshman year of high school, which makes no sense. But that's exactly how this is all set up. Okay, so this follows Buffy from her sophomore year of high school when she starts at Sunnydale High, all the way up until, like 3 years after she graduates high school, because she does have a college year in here. Some people say it's the worst year, it's season 4, but I still highly recommend this TV show. If you can't own it, it is on Hulu to watch, and then I think it's even on Facebook Watch, so you can even watch it on there if you don't own it. I love Buffy. It's one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and I tend to watch random episodes, randomly throughout the years. I don't end up binge watching the series. I've seen the series like 20 times, which is the reason why I've not binge watched it again, because I've seen it so many times. I know what's going to happen, and it's not as fun, and it's much more funner picking random episodes that you're just like, oh, what's happening in this episode? Because sometimes you forget. The later seasons, there's parts of the later seasons and parts of the earlier seasons that I don't really remember very well, because it wasn't my favorite season at the time, or whatever it might be, and so, like, it's really fun going back and seeing those episodes in particular. But I'll watch 2 episodes from every season, every once in a while, and it could make a whole day thing. It's really fun. Alright, continuing down the line of different things that came with Buffy. Buffy was obviously in high school at one point, and so they had high school t-shirts. So one of those things is called Sunnydale High is her high school, and I got this while I was in high school. And it's the Sunnydale High School t-shirt, which I've worn countless of times on this channel, on my main channel, on my movie channel. It's been everywhere. I've switched with it. I streamed with it, not switched with it. I've done podcasts in it. It's one of my favorite t-shirts of all time. It's getting a little small for me personally. It's a large, but it still fits. It still does its job, and it's still very comfortable to wear. And so that's one of the merch items that I'm very, 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 Very big fan of. Now, one of the first ever merch items that I've ever got for Buffy, before I even owned the TV show, I owned this, and that was the game. So this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer Chaos Bleeds. Now, Buffy the Vampire Slayer Chaos Bleeds, this is where everybody's a part of the game. You play as multiple different characters throughout the story, including not limited to Buffy, Spike, Willow, Faith, and Xander. Several others do pop up, and you do get to jump around in them. One being Sid the Dummy. It's such a classic moment. The game itself was known to being very chaotic, very takes over itself kind of game. There's several different scenes you play with multiple people that it seems like the AI itself is controlling your controller, and that you're like, am I actually doing it? But it's one of my favorite video games of all time because it is Buffy. There's also another Buffy game. I can't think of what it's called. There's quite a few. I don't have it in here because this is Buffy, and this is made for the original Xbox, by the way. And I have the booklet. I have everything that you need in order to play it. The disc still works. And then also we have, like I said, there's another video game that's dedicated to Buffy. We're just surrounded by Buffy, which was the first ever game. I used to own this on PlayStation when it was exclusive. I ventured off into other video games through the Game Boy and things like that, and so you could find Buffy basically anywhere you wanted to find Buffy, be able to play it. Now, interestingly enough, the only people who come back to voice these characters are everybody but Sarah Michelle Gellar. Sarah Michelle Gellar is infamously known for not doing anything outside of Buffy herself. She plays her throughout the years, the characters are shaped around her, but she is infamously known for not showing up for press events and not being a part of any of the extra stuff that Fox or CW or whatever company label that had them under, they switched between 3 in the year's run. She never was there. So that's very interesting. She was very busy. She had a lot of movies she was doing at the time. She didn't just do Buffy. And so, yeah. Some other things that the TV show did bring about is, one, we have a whole graphic novel series, which we'll get to, which concludes, the TV show goes from seasons 1 through 7, and the comic books go through season 8 through 12, and then there is a Boom exclusive, which they're rebooting it, which they have like 14. I've done a few things on my channel talking about Boom's personal run, since it's the current run of the series. And then there's also many one-offs, and we're going to even talk about some of those one-offs today. So some things that are not a part of it, some things that if you're a Buffy fan I would recommend right away, and that is, also I do want to mention I don't own Angel. Judge me as you will. Angel is the spin-off series that follows the love interest Angel, who ends up not being a love interest for very long. And it goes from seasons 1 through 5, and it does have a whole extra season past the ending of Buffy that does include some characters from Buffy who do cross over. I have never owned it. I never really enjoyed Angel, but it is on different places where you can watch in case you do want the full experience. Angel Season 1 starts during Buffy Season 4, and honestly, it is a blessing. I do own the first season. I've always owned the first season of Angel, but I've never, either way. I mention it because this is a Buffy Vampire Slayer encyclopedia guide, and this is the authorized version, so every character has ever shown up, every demon, anything you want to know is in here, which is so cool. I love it so much. I use it so much. I used it last night because there were several characters in the book I read last night for Buffy that I was like, are they important? It's beautifully done, and it's just really fun, and if you want to know about a character, if you don't, or you really like a character but you don't remember what episode they're in, it's a great little handy thing. You can get it on Amazon. Some other things I got off Amazon is Buffy the Vampire's 20 Years of Slaying. I got this for Christmas as well. And this is, I think, also, like, this takes you through every single episode of the television show. It's a documented experience of taking you through why they did certain things. And, but they'll go through every episode. There's lines, it's just a whole big thing. I really, really like it. I don't use it very much. I don't look at it as often as I probably should. But I find it very cool, and I'm very happy it's part of my collection. Also, it feels really nice. They both feel very nice, and it's very pretty. It's very well done, and so I do enjoy. My first ever merch past the game, because I own this afterwards, is the Buffy Vampire Slayer Sunnydale High School yearbook. This is infamous because it's shown up very pacingly through season 3 as a yearbook, but then it disappears, and then they talk about it again a little bit later on in the series as well. And I use this yearbook for about everything I could ever think about, and things. Oh my god, there's notes and things in here that I should probably look at off camera. which I surely will. And it's just really fun. There's portraits of the TV show, there's moments, there's lines of my favorites, and it just brings my heart, it makes my heart really warm. I don't really recommend this as a, unless you're a really, really diehard Buffy fan, but yeah. That brings us to the end of, like, the physical merch. The rest of the stuff are comic books, and I do have plentiful of them. So we're going to go read through a very quick thing, and I'll tell you if, where they take place if I have any idea, of course. So, let's start with the Omnibus. I only have one Omnibus. There's 3 out there. There's Omnibus Tales just for Buffy in general. There's the Tales of the Vampires and Slayers, and then there's also another Buffy. They made 2 of those, I think. I have the Omnibus Tales for the Vampires and the Slayers. So this Buffy is a TV show about every generation a girl is born to become the next Slayer when a Slayer dies. Now, honestly, truly, you don't learn that's when a Slayer dies until much later. You just think they're out in the world. It's not until like season 2 of the TV show, which is kind of a spoiler, but you know what? It's important if you're going to read this. Because most of these Slayers, these stories that they're talking about, are Slayers that are in before Buffy, leading up to Buffy in general, and then it goes into the Vampire Slayers. And the vampire stories are kind of fun. There's like 5 stories in here that I recommend. I wouldn't actually recommend buying the Omnibus version. I would go through and I would maybe comment or DM me and ask me which ones you would recommend I would read, so you can get like your hands on those particular short stories, because these overall not the best. There are other books I don't own, such as novels. They had a whole spree of them. My favorites were You Get to Choose What Buffy Does. I don't own any of them, but I do plan on one day because I enjoyed them so much. I thought it would be such a fun video. Oh, I might do that. We'll have to look on Amazon. Either way. And then we also have Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The High School Years, which is another spin-off series. And this is much more detailing different days of Buffy while she is in high school that we didn't get to see in the TV show. I read one of the issues. There's only 3 of them, because it did not do well for Dark Horse. And this is Glutton for Punishment, and it was okay. Once again, wouldn't truly recommend, but yeah. It's about a tiger. Okay, now let's jump into the Behemoth. Now, once again, Buffy the Vampire Slayer was on cable network, and then it ended in the year of 2003 in May, and it went over, it took it like 5 years, I want to say, to move over to comic books for Dark Horse when they sold the rights over to Dark Horse. Now the rights over at Boom, since Dark Horse is going through some financial problems, at least it was at one point. But we're going to go talking through most of these. Most of these, except for Boom stuff, which I'll point out directly, are from Dark Horse, and that's where you can find them in case you're trying to get your hands on a copy of them. Now, I do want to mention, I don't own every single thing. I do own every single season of Buffy on my Kindle, and I'm trying to collect them to own them in real life as well. Some people find that ridiculous, but it's fun. So, The Incredible Giles and the Amazing Boy Fuddy Duddy. Am I a boy, or is he both? I don't even know what this is, but I'm excited. I don't even know where this takes place. It is Dark Horse, and it's season 10, number 19, is what it says. And so I've already read it. I do remember this. I didn't know this was its cover. This is a storyline in season 10. Yep. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Okay. So, let me get them all for us so I don't have to go through them individually. Got them. Don't you worry. This collection right here, you guys have seen time and time again. This is my Boom collection, starting with the first ever Boom issue and going to the latest one. It's not the latest one. There's been 2 others past the release of this. But Buffy number 12, which I don't know if that's it. It should have been in order. It's not in order, as you guys can tell. Maybe it's not over here. Maybe it was with a different thing. I'm not sure. I'm missing one issue, and that's the main issue. But, yeah, I don't know. I like it. I hate it. It's a mixed bag here. I much prefer Angel spinoff of here. I think they're doing it much better, but you can read them if you're interested, I guess. Would you like a full review over everything that I've read for Boom? Let me know in the comments down below. I don't really find it to be that interesting. I used to do them, like, a monthly review over them, and then I just didn't like them enough to do it. So, yeah. The rest of this stuff is Dark Horse from season 8 and onward. So, I have mixed things in here. So, for instance, this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer number 32, which does make me believe, but it's a Dark Horse Comics. And it does make me believe that this is a part of season 8, because the only season that goes past like 26 comics is the first season. There's like 42 issues in that season, and this is the first one I own. I think it's really pretty. And then we jump into the standardized versions of them, and so we have this is all season 8. I'm just gonna hold them up. I'm looking for gradient colors, like pretty ones that you wouldn't naturally see, because okay, I found the first one. It's a spin-off. All right. So these are dual, there's comic books on both sides, just to show you, you know, and they all contain different issues. It's not like there's one specific one or whatever, and it does fall in line. I do want to mention that there is a Buffy Vampire Slayer comic book animation series, which does take place in the first 4 issues, I want to say, of 4 volumes for Buffy Vampire Season 8. I would actually prefer it. It's pretty good. I don't, you know, it's not horrible, but it's not amazing, but it's not horrible. But these, if we continue down the line, though, there was also one-offs, and some of these covers for one-offs are the best in the game. So this is the Will one-off. It was beautiful. It does take part into the story of Season 9, number 3. But, and then on the back, you also have another Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Willow, Dark Willow, Repertoire. Okay, and then I'm just going to start showing you off some of my favorite covers, because most of these, like I said, they're just the graphic novels. So for instance, the Faith covers, it's just one of my favorites out of the whole series. Faith was one of my favorite characters. She also has a diary you guys can buy that goes more in depth into her background. And none of the stuff that I'm telling you, by the way, unless it's a part of the comic books, and Joss Whedon's name is on it, it's not canon. The Faith book, I don't think is canon, which is why I've never bought it. I've read most of it, though, because I like Faith so much that I was like, I'm willing, you know. I have spoilers on it. Let's see here. Just looking to see. Ironically, this one issue right here is not part of any volume. I don't know why. I'm not entirely sure why number 20 you couldn't find anywhere in a volume, and so I actually had to buy it separately when I was rereading or reading through all these. My first ever Dark Horse Buffy comic, I had no idea that there were so many of them, was for season 10, number 24, which is this one my sister got for me quite a few years ago, and I'm grateful for it. And then you have the normal Buffy side one, which is like, I think this is number 1. Yeah, this is the first ever issue for Buffy the Vampire Slayer Dark Horse, which is just so interesting. It does have a signature down there, which is really, really cool. And then you also have, I have 2 versions of this. I have the normal version, and then also I have, like, the version before they color it in. I find them both very pretty. Oh my gosh, I have several of these. And I don't think I need as many as I do, so I might send them to Tim so he can sell them. Okay, so moving forward, I do have the first 4 issues of the comics that I just showed you as, like, the volumes. So, Long Way Home, No Future for You, Love's at the Gate, and then Time of Your Life, also. I have the first 4. There is 8, I think, in the first season. There's 5 in the second season, or maybe there's 12 and there's 8, and then they get shorter and shorter down to the final season only being 4 episodes long. So that's my Buffy Vampire Slayer collection. Like I said, I do have many more of these. I have the whole series on my Kindle. So I have both a Buffy Vampire Slayer poster, and also I have a Buffy Vampire Slayer little bookmark. Both these are relatively new to my collection. If you guys really enjoyed this series, a look into what makes me really, really happy inside is Buffy, and at this time I think showing off something that makes me really happy inside is really good, especially for everything going on right now. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please give me a big fat thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time for another beautiful video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.